So today I want to talk about what is it that really drives career progress in STEM. And I feel this is a very important topic because during our entire education as STEM professionals, we've been taught to focus solely on technical skills. So during our exams or during our thesis, we were really emphasizing a lot that part of moving forward, right? So we are really focusing on how can we improve this algorithm, or how can we make this experiment work better, or how can we improve some protocols and so on. So we are really focused on improvement, but on the technical side. Now, the problem comes when we are surrounded by people who are not experts in our specific field. And to those people, more often than not, the work that we do sounds pretty much abstract. Like they are not really sure what you are actually doing. And just to illustrate this example, you can think of, for example, some of your friends or family, and if you would ask them, what is it exactly that you do, they would probably just give an educated guess, more or less, on what they feel you are actually doing. Chances are this is not quite accurate, but more of an approximation or just naming the area. Like they could say something, oh, you're a scientist or you are a programmer, without even actually understanding what is the meaning behind that label or that name. And if we think about people we are surrounded by in our careers, those are the majority of people. Like they really don't know what is it that we are actually doing. And if we depend on them and their opinion in order to get promoted, it is absolutely our job, and I would say one of our most important tasks, to make sure that we can explain our work and make what we do tangible to them. Because if they do not see why our work matters and how our work matters to them, it is very unlikely that they will actually progress with our career, so that they will really want to make sure that our careers move forward. Having said that, I feel that definitely, from my experience, one of the skills most STEM professionals lack is this ability of really building a bridge between us, who are STEM professionals and we have this technical expertise, and the people who are outside this world, but who are oftentimes the decision makers when it comes to our career progress, funding, projects, or whatever it is that we are doing, depending if you're a scientist, engineers, developer, or something else. So how can we make sure that we train this skill? One of the first suggestions I would say is, whenever you feel that you need to explain your work, for example, you are giving a conference talk or you're explaining something that your team did at some meeting, I would really suggest that you try to lower the level of jargon and really try to put yourself in the position of meeting your audience and the people who are listening to you where they are at. And this sounds like something very basic, but if you think about it, think about those meetings or conferences where you are the audience and someone else is the expert explaining their work. How many times have you really felt that they include you, that they are bringing you along on the journey of their work or their impact, or their explanation of what is it that they are trying to achieve, or what is it that they are doing? Chances are this doesn't happen very often, and this is something that is super common, especially in the STEM field, where, as I said, we are speaking about very complex things that the general public usually isn't familiar with, and they honestly don't have to be familiar with these things. It is our job as expert to make sure that these people understand you, and to really make sure that we make the impact that we make with our work visible to them. This is totally up to us. So some of the techniques that you can use and some of the tips that I have for you is, every time that you speak, try to be aware of how you're speaking. Try to be aware of all of the things that you are really thinking that other people know, but they don't actually know. For example, try to give them context. When you're explaining some stuff, chances are they are not working in your thing. They don't know anything about your work and anything about your results. So give them some context, invite them in the conversation, give them examples. Look, this thing that we are doing, neural networks, you can imagine this as this and this thing. And then you give a very tangible, real world example that this person is familiar with. So these are just some of the tips that I have. The first one, of course, being awareness when you speak, when you explain your work, because this is really what drives change. And I can guarantee that once you start shifting your focus from what is it that you are doing to how others perceive and how others perceive the impact of the work that you're doing, you are for sure going to see many, many benefits reflected on your career and on your career progress in general. If you're interested in training this, like pumping that muscle in a real world environment with the professional in a guided setting when you can get instant feedback and where you can work on your specific issues and challenges, I invite you to join my coaching program in which we do exactly that. So I'm a scientist by training and I teach STEM professionals, I help STEM professionals improve that part of their communication skills so that they don't feel stress every time they have to explain their work, and at the same time to make sure that the people who are listening to them, who are reading their reports, are understanding what is the point and what is the message. If you're interested in this kind of help and coaching, I will leave a link down below where you can schedule a completely free discovery call with me where we can talk about your specific challenges, your issues, and of course see if we are a good fit to work together. I hope that you found this video useful and see you next time in another video. Bye bye.